England swings, but Brunson wins in Vegas. Let's get right into it, Brad.
Welcome back to the 11th Island, everybody. I'm Brad. That's Chris over there. And Derek Brunson just submitted Darren Till in round 3 of UFC Fight Night, or Fight Afternoon, as it is here in North America. So, Chris, what are we thinking about this fight?
Yeah, a bit disappointed. I like a lot of people, I'm a Darren Till fan. He's just a fun guy to have around, and to not be able to hear him talk after a fight, it's just kind of a loss. But it's nice to see Brunson on now a 5-fight win streak. Really doing some action here in the middleweight division as Adesanya continues to kind of lord over everything. There's some action coming up from below in the middle of the rankings. So it's been nice to see, and I think there's a lot of exciting fights to make with Brunson coming forward.
Yeah, Brunson, his last loss was against Adesanya, and in that loss, he was just completely outclassed. But since then, every fight, he just keeps getting better and better. And like tonight, he looks like a title contender, which is what I think he is now, and we can get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But his wrestling and ground and pound game is up there with the best in not only the middleweight division, but the UFC as a whole. He truly looks like he's really, he's always been a top 10 guy, but he's looked like he's probably the first time in his career completely put everything together and is competing at the highest level that he ever has.
And over this 5 fight win streak, but it was 4 coming into this, right? He's starting to earn a reputation, I think, too. Darren Till is no scaredy cat in the octagon, and it's funny, early in that fight you could see Brunson feint with his fists, and Till doesn't move, but the second Brunson would move his body, that's when he got him moving. You constantly see Brunson's eyes go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And you see, as a fighter, Till was responding to that. He was taken down before Brunson even shot.
Yeah. The going into this, it was Till needed to keep this standing, and when it was standing, Till was getting the better of him. It wasn't overpowering domination or anything, but Till was getting the better on the feet. But as soon as it got to the ground, Till had nothing to give. And in that final sequence, like they said, he gave that kind of last. Till was touching him up there in that third round, and once Brunson got the legs, Till had that kind of last Hail Mary try to push off and end up leaving him in top position, and that was it. It's as soon as Brunson gets you down, he's drowning you.
Well,
there's no getting out of it.
And Till didn't really get a chance to tee off until that third round when he threw it. And I think part of that kind of mental conditioning that Brunson had gotten Till into, where I'm afraid of this takedown, Till never really let himself fly at all in that fight, and the second he did, it was over. So Brunson, if he can set that tone, and say, I'm not even gonna, you can't open up with me. Like, you're gonna have to pull out the 4-iron to drive here. So and for Till, there was some big shots, big hits, but there really wasn't a lot of opportunities for strikes because Brunson was so dominant, kiting him around the octagon, pulling him, that one takedown that Cormier pointed out, taking him like off the fence. It was just, and the ability, I think one of the biggest things that it just was fun to watch. It's almost Brunson was toying with him. It's like, do you want the submission? Do you want the knockout? Right? To start by opening him up and with that ground and pound, and in that final submission to set up the rear naked choke. That fight, if Till didn't turn around and give up his neck, that would have been a knockout. We were seconds away from a knockout. It's pretty much, Till knew he had a choice, and he chose the rear naked choke. He just flipped around. It's like, no, we're going to do it the other way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think looking ahead here for Brunson now too, we were talking about, does he wait for the title fight, or does he take like a Cannonier or somebody like that? And I think Brunson summed it up best. He said, I ain't broke, I'll sit and wait. And I think he's earned the title shot for somebody that he's up there in age. I don't know his age off the top of the head. I think he's in mid-30s, I want to say. I think that's the right decision. I think wait, especially like you said, if you ain't broke, wait on the title shot. It's a situation where Adesanya outclassed you. You had the blueprint to beat Adesanya.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
Teixeira and him, or sorry, Blachowicz and him are far different physical fighters, but it's right there. Take him down into deep waters, which Brunson has the tools to do,
Yeah.
and you can win that fight.
Yeah,
So
right
wait
now,
on it.
I mean, Brunson's on a better win streak than Adesanya is right now. I mean, with an asterisk, but that's an angle there, and I think that's the fight to make, and it's a shame for a guy like Cannonier now. I mean, I think if this fight was kind of a little bit longer, if this went to a decision for Brunson, then we have less of a statement to make that gets us to contendership. And that's where Cannonier gets into the mix. But with a win like that over that type of a striker, I think Brunson just shot himself right back into a rematch with Adesanya that is going to have a very different outlook than it did the first time around.
And the real question, I think, coming off this fight is, what do you do with Darren Till? He was such a polarizing, popular figure that, I mean, the fact that he's in this main event, people are talking about maybe a title shot with this win, says more to his popularity than his performance in the cage. He's 1-1 in the middleweight division, with the win being somewhat controversial against Kevin Gastelum. I don't know what you do with Darren Till. I think he really needs to take a step back in talent. I think you give him somebody like the Strickland Rockhold fight that's coming up. There's some personalities in that fight. Maybe the winner, or even honestly the loser of that. You get those two matched up. You get them on like a prelim headliner for a pay-per-view. That's fun because they're going to be going at each other. It's going to be an entertaining fight, and it's going to kind of kickstart somebody back. So I don't what do you think?
No, I think that's right, because kickstarting somebody back is crucial, especially as I said at the top. Adesanya's been lording over this division. It's become very top heavy. So to see something happening between 10 and 4 on that's pretty. That's always a good thing that we can and make no mistake. There was a reason that the Cannonier fight was last week and this fight was this week. Dana wanted to have pieces to put together, and I think there's a lot of different fights to make, and for Till, it's an interesting spot to be in, right? Because you, as a guy that's kind of been struggling a little bit as of late, but at the same time you have such an electric personality. People want to be attached to things, or people want to press the buy button on things you're involved with, no matter what. And also you have that knockout potential that I don't care if I'm going to overshoot on a guy, because any given day there's one punch and I could hit that grand slam, and I think those types of guys really are able to justify reaching a little bit for things. So I think with a win here, Michael Bisping was the one who said if Till wins and makes a big statement, like it's a statement win here, he gets a title shot. And everyone was like, oh no, like Darren Till's not there. But as we got closer to this fight, and as people were reminded through their social media feeds, the stuff, the flavor of the month, all that stuff, as people were reminded who Darren Till is and how dynamic he is, people are like, yeah, we want to see him against Adesanya. So now with a loss there in a bad matchup, I mean, that was probably one of, in terms of positioning in Darren Till's career, plus just the matchup of Brunson, that was one of the toughest fights of his career. It'll be interesting to see what we're thinking about what's next coming out of this week.
The one thing that I just hope Darren Till doesn't do, don't drop back to welterweight. Middleweight's your proper weight division. Welterweight's just going to kill your chin, like it did in the Masvidal fight. So don't do that. Yeah. And aside from that, I think that's all I got in the fight. You got anything else, Chris?
No, tell the people what they need to do now that the video's over. I'm going to start playing some music.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we have a 350 subscriber giveaway coming up. We just finished our 250 subscriber giveaway, so make sure you check out the sports card playlist. Leave a comment on any of those videos. You're entered in the 350 subscriber giveaway. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, get it out. Come on, the lyric's already on, dude.
Let's see ya.
All right, see you later, everybody.
Make my